After the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Witt under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. The burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go! Go, 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 go.
All right, yes, your Commanders, your Washington Commanders are now 4-1 on the season after taking down Massage Watson without the baby oil. Now, the Washington Commanders started out slow in the beginning of the game because they had to get adjusted what the Cleveland Browns was doing. They was trying to blitz. They was trying to make sure that they disrupt whatever the Commanders was trying to do. But as the game started proceeding throughout the first part of the quarter into the second quarter, you seen that the Washington Commanders got adjusted very quickly. They was able to sustain the early pressure from the Cleveland Browns. Now, Jaden Daniels, he actually left the game throughout the midway through the fourth quarter because the game was already in hand. The Commanders did what they needed to do. All right. So if you want to look at, we go by stat line real quick. The Washington Commanders took a 7-0 lead into the first quarter after they was going back and forth, punt. And like I said, the Commanders had to get adjusted to what the Cleveland Browns was doing to them because the Cleveland Browns was trying to be aggressive. They were trying to make sure that they disrupt the flow. They try to get Jaden Daniels out of his comfort zone, rattle him a little bit, and which, you know, in the first part, it was kind of, because the play calling was kind of a little stagnant. But like I said, as the game went on, going into the second quarter, the Cleveland Browns put 3 on the board. But the Commanders came back and put 27 on the board like it wasn't even nothing. The first touchdown of the game was a 4-yard a 4-yard rush by Brian Robinson. And then in the second quarter, the Browns kicked a 51-yard field goal that would be at 7-3. But then the Commanders came down, kicked us 27-yard field goal as well to make it 10-7. Then the Commanders marched down the field again with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in the second quarter to a Brian Robinson 1-yard run, and Austin Seabird, a.k.a. Seabreeze, with the kick that made it 17-3. So as 30 seconds left going into the to halftime, there was a specific play that was the Commanders, Jaden Daniels he scrambled out and came out to the sideline, in which he gave talked to Cliff Kingsbury about the next play and what he had seen, which he knew that the defense was in man. So by them being in man, he wanted to take a deep shot, which it paid because on the next play, the next play, he hit De'Ami Brown with a 41-yard touchdown pass with 36 seconds left going into the half. That made it 27-3 at halftime. Then the Washington got the ball back in the third quarter, which they almost went down the score, but they gave the ball back to the Cleveland Browns, which they went down and scored in the third quarter with another field goal by Dustin Hopkins. That made it 24-6. Then Washington got the ball, proceeded to march down with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Scored on another touchdown on Jeremy McNichols' 3-yard run. And I want to say something about Jeremy McNichols because last week when we didn't know what the running back room would look like, but Jeremy McNichols came and stepped up for Austin Eckler in the game. And he gave some vital minutes into the game. And Jeremy McNichols, he scored on a 3-yard rush that made it 31 to 6 at that time. Now with 2 minutes left in the game, left in the third quarter, the Commanders went down and scored a 30-yard field goal. And I think that's the play that he threw the ball to Terry, and it almost went for a touchdown. But Terry couldn't hold on to it, so they settled for a field goal to make it 34-6. The third quarter came about. There was no more Jaden Daniels. Marcus Mariota came in, and they just basically ground the game out with whatever it was. But Jordan Addison came in. Deshaun Watson finally got a touchdown on the ball to Jordan Addison for 10 yards to make it 13-34. Stat-wise, there was 2 turnovers in the game. 1 interception by Jaden Daniels, and then 1 fumble by the Browns causing I forgot who it was, the fumble. But nevertheless, the Commanders have not turned the ball over. They only have 3 turnovers in 5 games. That is impressive. Normally, you would turn the ball over a lot, but the Commanders have been very, very good in taking care of the ball, not throwing interceptions and everything like that. I think Jaden Daniels only has 2 interceptions on the season. 2 interceptions on the season. So that's something that's more impressive. So, and just, like I said, Deshaun Watson only had 125 yards. Jaden Daniels had 11 carries for 82 yards. Terry McLaurin had 100 yards receiving, 4 for 112. But we look at, we go to the box scores. The Commanders ran for 215 yards rushing, with Jaden Daniels leading the way with 82 yards rushing. Also, Eckler had 67 himself. He had a big play in the game. Jeremy McNichols had 44 yards. Brian Robinson, he had 2 touchdowns, but he only had 18 yards rushing. And I think he's probably been still nicked up with that little knee injury, whatever the case may be, and that's why you got Jeremy McNichols in the game. And like I said, passing wise, we 236 because Tremaine had that -2. It would have been 238. But also Eckler had 2 yards for two catches for 10 yards. Olamide Zadias had 1 catch for 10 yards. Luke McCaffrey 3 for 19. Also Eckler 2 for 30. Also Eckler is really good catching out the backfield. I love when he catches out the backfield. And he's very sturdy. De'Ami Brown 2 for 56. His longest was 41, and Terry was 4 for 112. And also, I want to give a shout out to the Commanders defense also, because they was on high alert yesterday. They was, when I tell you, Frankie Louvo was all over the place yesterday. He was the player of the game. He was something that we had never seen with him and Bobby Wagner back there, because they literally went after Deshaun Watson. They went after him relentlessly, racking up 7 sacks. The Commanders had 7 sacks in the game. It's been a long time since the Commanders defense had posed that kind of sack. I think they had that sack total last year or the year before, not for sure. So, and they had 7 tackles for a loss. So that's great. Dante Fowler had a sack. Jonathan Allen had a sack. Bobby Wagner had a sack and a half. Frankie Louvo had 2 sacks and a half. Dorian Robinson had a sack. You know what I'm saying? So this team was out here doing the damn thing yesterday. They was putting pressure. They was being relentless, and they was getting after the quarterback the way you're supposed to get after the quarterback. Now, injury update was Quan Martin. He went out. He hit his head, and then he hurt his shoulder. But they did reports say that he was good to come back into the game. So now the Washington Commanders, right now, is the 4-1 in the NFC East, and since 2008. There was the last time they was 4-1 for the first time. And there's something good to say about this because the fact of the matter is they are playing very competent football. Now, I do want to. I'm not going to do a preview game of the Baltimore and the Commanders game. I'm going to say that for later in the week, but I want to continue on this. And also, rushing yards. Jaden Daniels has become. He set a record yesterday. He's the first quarterback to ever have over 1,000 yards and 250 rushing yards, and through 5 games, which that's a record. He also has the most rushing yards by a quarterback in the first 5 starts of his career. He has 262 right now, and that beat out Robert Griffin's 240. That beat out Steve Young's 233, and that is Bobby Douglas 247. And guess what? That beat out the likes of Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and others. So guess what? And then he joins Robert Griffin as the only Washington franchise quarterback to ever eclipse that feat. So that's something good to watch for too. Also, I want to dive into a quick note. Joe Witt's defense in this game. Hold on. Well, I'll play tribute to the offensive line. Shout out to Mason on Twitter. He posted that the offensive line today had with Brandon Coleman, 17 snaps, 2 pressures. Sam Cosby, 37 snaps, 2 pressures. Cornelius Lucas, 20 sacks, 1 pressure. Nick Alligator, 34 snaps, 1 pressure. Andrew Wiley, 37 snaps, 1 pressure. Tyler Batiste, 37 snaps, no pressure. This goes to show you that this offensive line has become gel. Now, they gave up what 2 sacks today, but at the same time, hey, it's what it is. But they've been playing really good with the run, and they have been giving Jaden Daniels a whole lot of time. And the thing about Jaden Daniels is he does not hold on to the ball long. That's where I like about him. Now, if the pass rush comes up the middle and he gets sacked, that's fine. But when he's back there, he does not hold the ball long. He gets rid of the ball. He makes quick decisions. He knows where he's going. He surveys the field, and that's put a lot of opposing threat on the defense in the secondary because they don't know which way to go because they know the Washington Commanders can pass now and they can run the ball. So what are you going to take away from the Washington Commanders when it comes down to that situation? And there's not a lot. So I also want to go over Joe Witt's defense because they only gave up 13 points coming down because they shut down Kyler Murray did last week. So they really making a stance defensively. They gave up 13 points, 7 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 11 quarterback hits, and 5 pass deflections. Let me tell you this: if Baltimore gonna win the game next week, they're gonna have to win it by running the ball. They're not gonna be able to do all of that stuff because they don't. To me, I don't think they have great receivers at all. So, but I do like I said, I do like what the Washington Commanders had done. I love what they've been doing for the last couple of games, and it's crazy. Like I said, I'm going back over this again. Jaden Daniels is the first quarterback in history to have 1,000 yards and 250 rushing yards in 5 games. And that goes to show you that this team is for real. You can say what you want to say about them not getting the not playing somebody or not playing the same teams. It don't matter who the team is. You go out there and you win the games, and that's how it's supposed to be on the field. So with that being said, continue to like, comment, subscribe. Watch the Commanders, second best team in the NFC right now behind the Minnesota Vikings. But like I said, the Washington Commanders are a threat. I look for them to win the division. I don't think this hype will go on because it's going to be hard for teams to mask what King Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels is doing, especially with the defense is starting to come together. This team's starting to improve every week more and more and more, and I like that. So keep them bells ringing anytime I drop a hardcore video, and at the end of it, you always know what I say. You know what it is. Continue to like, comment, subscribe. This your boy Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.